So because my intro last time was so terrible, when the beat drops, I'm going to read one that I've written. It's going to be fine, okay?
Can't wait.
Oh, well, hello! And welcome to your weekly dose of a Midland woman losing her mind. It's Oh, hello, welcome one and all to your midweek woe pony. It is Josh Bowness and Grace Clark with you for some time, talking some things. And we are well. I hope you are well. Gracie, how are you this week?
Fine, thank you. My first and only request is, could you please turn my headphones down?
Well, of course.
Thanks,
is that better?
Much better.
Oh,
yeah,
good.
I was sat here. Ouchie.
Okay, good.
I'm not
conditions.
too bad. How are you?
I'm very well. Yes, no, I'm good. The sun is out.
The sun is
it's
out.
Glorious
It's 4:20,
weather.
baby.
Oh yeah.
The sun is out. We're celebrating.
What are we celebrating?
Medicinal herbs.
Yes, that's it. Okay, good. I wondered where we were going here.
So, how's your written
fine.
introduction going, Josh?
Oh, well, it's done. Yeah.
Are you telling me you wrote something about a crazy woman?
Well, what I actually wrote was, welcome to your weekly dose of a Midland woman in her 20s slowly losing her mind, accompanied by some poor gay she stole from the south.
Stole!
But I didn't get that far through it, so maybe next time. But yeah,
I like how moments before we started you said, Grace, I've written an intro this week because last week it all went wrong.
Yes.
And that's what you wrote.
Yes. I was on the toilet, and that's what I wrote.
As you always
Can
are.
I say on the toilet on the radio?
It's too late.
I
You've
don't
already
know.
said it.
It's too late now.
I said medicinal herbs.
I'm really sorry if
No, it's
anything
fine.
we've said so far has offended you, if you're listening live on the Riverside Radio. If you're not, then it doesn't matter because you're choosing to listen to this, and frankly, it's your own fault. So there you go.
Oh gosh, this is a roller coaster
it is.
already. What are we talking about today, Josh?
We are talking about housemates, people you live
Housemates.
with.
Yes, shared accommodation.
Yes.
Living situation.
That was really good. I enjoyed that.
accommodation.
Living situation. Yeah.
Something
Have you written? You've written some questions down which I'm looking forward to answering.
I don't
yes,
remember what I've written already, to be honest.
No, it's good. So we're going to be talking about that. Situations where you've lived with other people. I've got an absolute cracker of a story.
Really?
Do you not remember when I split up with my ex-boyfriend and I lived in the flat in West London and with the crazy people?
Oh my god!
Do you not remember this?
I do.
Yeah.
But I forgot.
I think well, this was at the height of COVID, and I think that in their defence, they probably weren't themselves. But my
just
goodness, it was
we were on
insane.
the phone for 4 hours on
Right.
my balcony.
Wasn't it just ridiculous?
Oh gosh!
I don't think
Josh,
we've got time to do all of that. I don't think
No.
we've got time to do all of
You'll
that.
have to just quickly think of the highlights.
I'll do the highlights.
Entertainment.
Yeah.
It'll probably be the saddest bits, but
Yeah.
such as entertainment.
Well, quite.
I'm
and-
sure I've got some stories as well. I've just got to remember them.
Well, we'll do that as we go.
Well, look, and the reason we chose this subject, Josh, is because
I don't know. Why did we choose this?
you text me and said I've got mice.
Oh yes, we've got mice in our flat.
Yeah.
I lived with other
So
people.
I
and we've
said,
got mice in the flat.
Lol,
Okay.
let's do.
Well, I say we've got mice in the flat.
Not as
we've had
pets.
No. So we've had a couple of visitors, sadly, unfortunately, and it's not their own fault. They're lost and they want to go home. They're just hungry. But it's got to the point now where it's like, no, come on. So
Where are they coming in from?
under the bath and through the kitchen.
Under the bar.
Under the bath. It's pretty bad. But you know what? So we've already had someone come out once, and they did block it up, and they were gone for about 2 months. They've obviously now broken back through whatever it is that was there in place. So, but that's okay.
They
I
took
say
a
they.
tiny hammer.
They did.
And a tiny spade, and they went.
But you know what? It's like there is literally only like one or two of them, and it is fairly rare. It's really not the end of the world.
Maybe you've got really
But I
tasty
don't want-
food.
Well, we've hidden it all. We're constantly mopping the floor. We're constantly wiping the surfaces. There's no washing up at all. Now, we are doing. The house smells clean. It doesn't smell of food. So we don't know what. They're just bored. They're just hungry. That's all it is.
Yeah, those silly, hungry, bored
I know.
mice.
I know.
Anyway,
We've run out of time. We'll talk to you in just a second. Is that all right?
Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, why not? It's Wednesday. Why not? Why not record a podcast?
Of course.
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
And why shouldn't the topic be housemates, flatmates, and living accommodation? Me and Josh have been through
I don't know.
a lot of different living situations.
Okay.
I feel like I've actually been sort of somewhat lucky. with who I've been somewhat lumped with in occasions.
Somewhat.
You know, in halls
I think I've been lucky
and
as well,
stuff
but
like that.
sometimes.
I've been quite lucky. I have a beautiful flatmate situation now. He's quite a private person, actually, so I probably won't talk too much about him at the moment, actually.
No.
But he's wonderful, my flatmate, Quakey.
That's okay.
So this is just my
This is your
pre-shout
current.
out.
Yeah.
My current living situation. I've lived in
Yeah.
Southfield, Southwest London, whoop, whoop, for 3
Big up
years.
the southwest.
Big up the southwest of London.
Yes.
Richmond, Wandsworth, Merton and Lambeth. Across the
Across the
Wonderland
Wonderland
into
into the
Grace's
Thames.
flat
Oh.
is where she
Well,
lives.
lots of people do, but they. Oh, I'm a child. I'm sorry.
You didn't realise what you'd said, did you?
No, I've gone bright red. I'm so sorry. No, I didn't
Do you
mean
know
that.
what? I forgive you. 'cause
I
it
didn't
was
even
funny.
mean that.
Yeah, you
That's
did.
not. No, it's not what I meant. It was what I meant. But listen,
No, so this is my pre-shout out to say I love Quaku and I adore him and he's the best flatmate. You have gone red.
I have.
He is the best flatmate I could ask for
oh, congratulations, Quaking.
because he's
And what
very
a hero.
tidy.
He is very tidy.
Very tidy. It makes me look like
Extremely
an animal
tidy.
when I don't wash up one plate.
I mean, arguably. Hold on a minute, though. Pause.
Pause.
When we're washing the one plate, are we filling up the sink with fairy liquid and then
No.
empty? I was going to say because that would be extremely wasteful.
No, we don't do that. We don't even have a bowl in the in
Oh,
the
so you
sink.
just go.
We just do it after and
You just scrub it all up.
yeah.
Okay, great.
No,
Please.
he's very, very clean. He leaves me alone.
Well, that's half the that's half the
You
battle
know,
sometimes,
as
isn't
much
it?
as I love him or love people, I like to be left alone.
Quite.
He leaves me alone. The only thing that he could improve on is he could stop making me jump. He does that on purpose and he claims that he
you
doesn't.
know-
He sneaks up on me.
Yes.
And I lose my life.
Yes.
Every time. I
Right.
think I'm going to have an early death because my heart has done little skips.
Yeah, I know. And Harry does it exactly the same. Harry's one
Cardiac
of my
arrest.
housemates. Yeah, honestly.
I did my emergency first aid training yesterday, but I can't do it on myself.
But the thing is, lol. But the thing is with Quaky, does he do it like? Does he go through a closed door? Because Harry will open the door in silence, then make me jump. Like I'm in the kitchen door's closed.
Oh, he can do.
And I'm facing the window, and so I can't see the door.
Yeah.
And he's managed to come out
Yeah.
of his room, down the corridor,
Yeah.
into the kitchen, through 2 shut doors.
Yeah.
Making no sound at all, and then just does something. Oh, hello.
He's that
Jeez.
was a really good
Honestly.
impression.
I know. I adore him. He's a very good friend of
yeah.
mine, but my God, he's
Quaku
scary
is a
sometimes.
very quiet walker.
Yeah. Yes.
He walks
So's Harry.
silently.
Yeah, so's Harry.
I'm not saying that I walk heavily, but I just
Yeah.
don't. I don't
You're not a
know.
thumper.
And I'll close the kitchen door
Please.
to be like, okay, well at least I'll hear the door if he comes in.
Right.
Didn't
No.
happen. Don't
Absolutely.
work.
I know. I concur.
I'm like, whatever.
Your Honour.
Kill me then. Go
I
on.
agree.
R.I.P. Grace.
Yeah. Oh, can we not?
It's gonna make me shock one day.
He's going to
shock.
make you shock. Who needs a defibrillator? Get yourself Uncle Quaku. Do you know what I mean? I'm well.
Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what I mean?
I'm just trying to be me.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
just want to be
I
me.
just want to be
Are
me.
you ready? I'm ready.
Whenever you're ready. You said that with some determination. I'm ready. Whenever you're ready, I'm ready.
Yeah, I thought Josh was having a little sort of breakdown before we started the show because he started just like quoting memes.
I quoted Cheryl Cool.
Cheryl Cool?
Yeah, Cool.
Everybody,
From
listen
the
to
X
me
Factor,
well
that
to see
meme.
Cheryl Cool.
Cheryl Cool when she was like, you know, and that someone was singing and the person that was singing walks into Cheryl Cole's lounge supposedly and says, "I'm ready," and Cheryl goes, "You said that with some determination." She goes, "I'm ready," and then Cheryl goes, "Whenever you're ready,"
I'm ready.
and you're like, "Ah, okay, whatever, just
bit
sing,
much. Anyway, just circling back,
please."
coming back to topic.
Full circle.
Josh, what's your favourite type of housemate? What's your ideal? If you didn't live where you live now,
Okay.
if you could create even the perfect housemate, flatmate, whatever living situation, or indeed you could just live on your own if you want to. That's another option.
Well, quite.
Then what would they be like?
So I genuinely would love to live on my own, but not because I don't like my current housemates at all. I'm now at the point in my life where I'm like, I'm ready for my own space. Do you know what I mean? And for me
Yeah.
to decide everything that happens in that space, I'm ready for it. However, it's very expensive to do that. And so housemates, in that respect, is a really good idea. And I'm very fortunate in that both my housemates are actually very close, if not exactly what I want. They're very, very, you know, and by that I mean they're really social when we're, you know, in the kitchen together and we can have a laugh and we all get on really well. But similarly, we're very good at respecting each other's space. I know.
And if you had the option to go down to just having one, would you?
One
As in
housemate.
not picking those specifically.
Oh gosh, I thought you were going to make me choose.
No, but from when I was in my second and third year at university,
Right.
I lived with 4 other girls.
Oh wow.
And
Whoa,
then I moved
Pony.
to just living with one guy.
Yes. He
I
said the
can't.
name of the show. Did you notice?
Oh,
he said the name of the show.
So if anybody needs context as to how to use the phrase "woe pony,"
There you go.
Josh did a variation of it.
You're welcome.
Some ASMR
Oh.
for the listener. No, but now that I've gone back, that I've gone down to just one person, I can't go back.
Okay.
I don't want to live with any more than one person.
Interesting,
Ideally, I'd like to just live on my own. To be, for a start, if Quaker ever left me, which he's allowed to do, but that would be it for me. I'd be so upset.
What would you do?
I don't know. I'd probably have to move back home. But
Wow. Okay.
but so the only option would be I'd want to live on my own, or I'd have to find just one other person. I can't go to multiple people again.
I understand that.
It's too many people to have to consider in my living space.
Well, I think again.
If you've got children and a husband and stuff, fine. At least you made them. But like other people, it's just too many people to consider emotionally.
Well, I think that also very much depends on the size of the house.
That's true.
Because I lived with...
I just want to be me. I just want to
be
do
me.
my own
But
thing.
as you know, last year, before I moved where I currently live with Harry and Lucy, which is awesome, I lived with, at one point, 5 other people. There were 6 of us in the house.
You did live
And-
in Josh lived in what I can only describe as a mental state of awareness. It was very odd.
What, the house?
Well, in the end, it was very odd.
What?
You lived with some very strange people.
The house? Which
No,
house
not
are we
that-
talking about?
No, before that one, sorry.
Ah, I thought you meant that one.
No, I'd forgotten actually that's where you'd lived before.
Yes, before that. Oh gosh, that was we don't have time. Do the whole thing. But long story short, so I split up with my partner and we were sharing a flat. So obviously we needed to move out. I ended up moving to this gorgeous flat, and I mean it was beautiful. Grace, did I ever show you pictures of it? I'm sure I did.
No, I
anyway. Oh, I don't remember. Anyway, but the point is, it was absolutely stunning. It was right next to a hospital, and it was an old building that was part of the hospital that was converted into flats. For whatever reason, the hospital and the NHS sold that bit of the building. Turned it into flats, but it was beautifully done, and the flat was stunning. It was a split level 3-bedroom flat. Each bedroom had its own ensuite bathroom, and I mean it was like nice. It was really, really nice. My room wasn't massive, but it was more than enough. It had, you know, cute cupboards. I had my own shower, my
Do
own
you think
bathroom.
there was ghosts in it?
In the hospital, or in the building, rather. Absolutely, yeah. I later found it was actually one of the old mental health units that was then converted into flats. Anyway, but it had a beautiful, massive open plan living room, kitchen. The ceilings were huge. Like it was a gorgeous flat. And when I met the people that I was living with, or moving into with rather, they were super lovely. Like they were super lovely. One was a chef, one was a builder, and one was a nurse, and it was super. They were chill. It was all cool. And for a few weeks, it was all chill. And then it all went completely insane.
And it wasn't chill
And it
anymore.
wasn't chill anymore. And I actually genuinely don't have time to go through. And I always forget what happened because so much happened.
Yeah.
But the highlight, I think, was when at one point one of them completely lost their mind, was on the roof because the other one was in the hospital next door. Yeah, long story. And he was on the roof, and then the caretaker of the building saw him on the roof and came upstairs and basically banged through the door and they had a massive argument in the flat, and then they did it in the corridor, and the whole block came out because they were like, what's going on? And then the police turned up. And the police, so they both left at this point. It was just me and the pastry chef in the flat. There was another knock at the door, and I thought the caretaker's come back for more. Oh my gosh.
Come back for more.
And then I opened the door and the police were there, and they were like, oh, this is actually really hilarious. They were like, hello, we've had reports of disturbances in this flat. And I was like, have you? Oh. And they were like, and I genuinely, I'm not making this up. They said to me, we assume it's not you we're here to see.
You're like, no, officer.
No, officer, no. Oh, no. And they were
Not
like,
me.
do come in, please. Can
I'm
I get you
good.
tea, biscuits? I've got biscuits.
I've got juice. You thirsty?
Yeah, honestly. They were like, no, we don't need biscuits. So they were like, we just want to know what happened. So I told them what happened, and then they were writing it all down, and then I said that my housemate's name, and they were like, oh, that's his name. Okay, we'll drop that down. And I was like, I'm an accomplice. Oh, no. Anyway.
I'm a witness.
And then eventually I had to give him his phone number because they needed to speak to him. So I was like, okay, here's the phone number. Anyway, and then that housemate called me, and I thought he's going to be really angry because he was out at this point, and I was like, he's going to be really angry that I've given him the police, but he was in a field and he was above. He was 420. Let me tell you that.
420.
Well, exactly. And not that I would recommend that, and unless it is, of course, safe to do so. However, but yes, the point is, that you can kind of see where this is going, and then the straw that broke the camel's hump, etc., was that it's not the saying, is it?
The straw that broke the camel's back.
The straw that broke the camel's back.
But the humps are on their back, so
it's the same thing. The straw that humped the camel's back, whatever it is. This the straw that backed the camel's hump. That bit. Can I say this? I've got no idea. The point is,
carry on.
I decided I was going to move out anyway because this was COVID, wasn't working. I was like, do you know what? I'm just going to go home. I'm going to get out of London, go home, save some money, whatever. We didn't know how long we were going to be until things were back to normal. This was like peak coronavirus. So I was like, okay, I'll just go home. So someone came to view my room because I was on spare room. Then they left, and I genuinely, this was divine wind because I was looking out the window like, I just want to go for a drive. I haven't gone for a drive in ages. I love driving. I haven't been able to drive anywhere because COVID. I'm just going to go for a drive. I'm going to get in my car and go for a drive. I'm not hurting anyone. I'm not breaking any bubbles. I'm in my own bubble. I'm just going to go for a drive. Yes, please. Thank you. I was gone for about 55 minutes. Went for a drive. It was really cool. Came back. And as I parked the car and walked towards the beautiful building, because it was all like a Gothic kind of mansion-esque kind of style building, walked towards it, and my pastry chef housemate came running down the stairs, and he was built like a brick. He was a big, chunky, muscly man, and he came down and he was crying, and I mean sobbing. He was like, oh, I've just been attacked. And apparently they'd had a massive bust up in the flat, and I was like, okay, we need to call the police. No, we can't call the police because there's things in the flat that shouldn't be in the flat, which I didn't know about, and etc. You can see where this is going. The point is, it was a complete and utter shambles, and that's why I now refuse to move in with strangers again.
Yeah.
Absolute chaos.
Well, Kwaku, the angel that he is, I was going to have to move back home, probably, because I didn't have anyone to move in with. And he panicked so much, because he was living in a room with strangers as well, in the house. He panicked so much that I'd have to move back, that he said, no, I'll move out and we'll get a place together, because I want to live with people I know anyway. The angel saved me. Angel Kwaku.
Oh,
love him.
Bless him.
Love that.
I wish those people all the best, because I genuinely they were in a dark place, and I hope they're happy now, and they've got what they want, because it was a complete mess. But do you know what? I'm never doing it again. It was oh god.
To be fair, in halls in student accommodation first year of uni, I looked out big time.
Did you?
Looked out big time, honey, because I didn't get to. I started uni like a week later. And I didn't have anywhere to live until November. So from end of September, October and start of November, I was commuting from Leicester to London every day, 4:30 in the morning, to get to my uni classes. So when people didn't turn up to stage combat lessons because they was hungover and going to freshers events, do you know how annoyed I was? Very annoyed. Admittedly, I was projecting because I couldn't live my own life. But at the time, annoyed,
Yeah.
But then I eventually got to move into someone's because someone was leaving, and I got to, and I looked out big time.
No.
Yeah.
Cute.
Loved it.
We love that.
Yeah. Fell in love with a French man.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Did that go well?
Well, we're still friends.
That's nice.
Didn't go well at the time.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh. Let's not go there. But that's good. So you had a good experience after that, because was this in question. Was this in when you say accommodation, was this like a house, or was this on campus at university kind of accommodation?
Halls,
Halls.
And we all had our separate bedrooms with our little ensuite.
Okay, but were they in flats? Was it like a flat of 8 bedrooms?
No, it was halls, like a what would you call it?
Just a building with rooms in it.
Yeah, but it would be like, our flat bit is, I can't remember the number of it now, like 38C or something like that. And then we were we were all down the corridor. We had one shared kitchen at the bottom.
Right.
And then our rooms were down the corridor.
Yes, that was like mine, but no one else I've spoken to other than you had halls like that. Everyone I've spoken to had flats. Like it was a block of flats, and each flat had 8 rooms in it, and you would...
See, I find that really odd. No, we had a corridor, and we had our flats and the kitchen at the end.
Yes, and except my kitchen...
But I loved it, because then we could have our own space, lock the door, and then we'd just go into the kitchen, and then sometimes we'd be like, oh, guys, should we have a little flatmate night in? You know, should we order the Dominoes? Or bed,
I love that.
Out the window.
That's super cute.
Yeah, it's great. Many a late night had, you know? And that was the time when I then moved. That was when I started to really realise what I actually wanted in sort of life.
Yes.
Because I'd moved away from home. You know, I had a long-term partner at the time, but I was just realising how much more I kind of deserved, and that's not a par to anybody, but I was realising, like, I'm becoming a grown-up now. Like, this is what I want to do. I want to have my own independence. I want to be loved and appreciated properly. And there was so many... Also, my mind couldn't get over, like, how many people were in the world. Like, because I just was meeting new people and making so many friends. Yeah. And when I was at college, I was doing that, because I went to college, you know, in Birmingham as well. But I would commute from home. And then the friends that you have, like, you have friends from college, but you don't see them outside because they live in Birmingham and I live in Leicestershire. So then I was moving to London, and I've got all these friends, and they're all friends like me.
Yeah, madness.
Yeah.
It was a mad experience, wasn't it?
It's usually quite a difficult time, really, isn't it? Because that's when you move out. But I found second year much harder, actually. That was when we moved into, you know, like, that was with in, like, friends houses. In the house.
Yeah. Why was that
That's hard? Always, because whenever a group of girls moves into a house share together, it's always their year of experiences.
Oh. Okay. A bit of both.
Yeah. The same thing. Yeah.
Oh, please.
Yeah. It's so, the phrase that it's commonly known as, can't say on the radio.
Oh, I don't even know what phrase we're alluding to.
I'll mention it when
you'll tell me later. But yeah, so I mean, yes, I in my second year was awesome, and I loved the people I lived with in second and third year. We stayed for the both years, and I loved them, absolutely loved them, and I still talk to them occasionally, and I adore them. But there was one point where I thought one of them stole my car. Have I ever told you that story?
No.
I've got to be very quick because we're pushed for time. But my housemate, who I absolutely adore, his name's Dan, and he had a driving license.
Is he the Irish one?
He's the Irish one.
You do a great impression.
Oh, I can't possibly on the radio. But anyway, so anyway, the point is, he had a key to my car because if he was on my insurance, it made my insurance cheaper. I don't know why. So I was like, why would I not put you on the insurance? We live together. You can just use my car occasionally. It's not a problem. But some notice would have been nice. And he just took the car one day to take one of the other housemates somewhere. I think they just literally went to the shops and back, but I didn't know, and they didn't leave a message, and I woke up late.
Right.
And then I thought the car had been nicked, and I called the police. And then, it was awful. And then they came back. I was messaging, and then they came back. They were like, what's wrong? And I absolutely lost it. I was so angry. Oh, to this day, that's possibly the angriest I've ever been. Oh. I was absolutely seething, like shaking, and I was crying because I don't like being angry, and I was crying. I was really upset, and then we didn't speak to each other properly for like 3 or 4 days. It was bad, big time bust up, and then it was fine. But yeah, it was, and I don't miscommunication. And to be fair, I overreacted. I did overreact. I should have realised. Of course, it's just Dan. Of course he did. He's got a key.
Cars are a big deal.
Well, this was it, and I thought
it's not like he's just borrowed your hair straighteners.
And I was financing it, and I was like, oh my gosh, what if I can't pay it off and they can't find it? I was awful. Anyway, there you go. So those are our housemate stories.
Yeah, housemate stories. Hopefully it's made our poddy listeners think of their own
How was your experience
living situations?
Living with other people.
How was your housemates, flatmates, living situations, life?
Quite. Take a moment to reflect. To pause and reflect, if you will.
Oh, if you will.
If you will, on your previous experiences.
I've just realised I think you've lined up the wrong... Going into radio mode now.
That's okay. I'm going to bin that because that needs to die. But now we're good. So what we'll do now is me and Gracie are going to talk to you about news headlines if you're listening to the podcast.
Right,
and if you're on the radio, I'm going to play you some adverts because we are contractually obliged to do so. Yes. And we're currently 41 seconds late for them. Shall I press go?
Yes, please.
Okay.